وأنت تراها لم يستطع ذلك وأنت ترى اللعين عاذنا الله منه. He said, but at the same time you see how the accursed Iblis, may Allah curse him and give us refuge from him, يأتي الآدمي في أشياء واضحة بينة أنها من محارم الله. He comes to people with things that they clearly know are from the matters that Allah has forbidden. It's a plague, a disease right now. Social media. People exposing themselves on social media. People retweeting rappers. People putting on their Instagram pages pictures of their self from Jahiliyyah, from their prom, from their, what they call it, your salad days. From back in the day. Sisters posting pictures of themselves uncovered. Sisters speaking in ways, exposing sins and disobedience, doing things mallahu bihi alim. Things that if the Salaf was to see, as I believe it was Sufyan al-Thawri rahimahullah ta'ala, he said that the person of knowledge never should see an evil that he can't change and do something about, except that it should cause him to urinate blood. It should stress him out. People of khair, when they see this, we become desensitized to everything. The anonymity that you're anonymous. You think that you're anonymous. You have how many followers on social media? A person, they know that so many people that everybody, kullu man hab wa dab, can see their page. Anybody can see their page. A person comments on their page, it shows up on the page of another person. And the foolishness that they were saying and the lies that they were spreading and the qadhaf and the slander that they are spreading about their brothers and sisters in faith and the fitna that they are spreading is seen by all and sundry. And this is min al-mujahara bil-ma'asiyah. And this is a person exposing sin and disobedience. This is a person shamelessly doing sin and disobedience. And the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Kullu ummati mu'afa illa al-mujahirin. All of my nation are pardoned except for those who publicize their sins. Except for those who publicize their sins. And then when the people of Sunnah take to the manabir, over the course of many years we've been dealing with this fitna. Muslim youth talking about they're going to make it rain. Got wads of cash. Cousin, you live in the projects, nephew? Where'd you get the money from? Ijlis wasma. Sit down and listen. Brother, those same brothers, they end up in the federal penitentiary. Those same brothers end up in jail and perhaps in hell. Allah protect us and protect them. And protect our youth. You see, balawi, ta'amat, calamities on social media. From the days of MySpace. MySpace ain't even around no more. We've been dealing with this stuff since the days of MySpace. Watching the Muslim youth destroy themselves. Watching people who, in those days were Muslim youth and these days are quite advanced in their age, acting like a bunch of children on social media. Not having grown up, not having matured. Kullu ummati mu'afa. All of this nation will be pardoned and forgiven except for the mujahirin, except for those who publicize their sins. So when the people of Sunnah take to the microphones and the manabir, and we say, ala bab al-umum, we say generally, biduni ta'yin, we never mention anybody's names. Ma balu aqwamin, what is wrong with some people that they such and such and such and such? They get right back on social media and they're talking about the du'at are spying on our social media pages. No, people who care about you, are saying that this is a calamity. This is a problem. I have a friend. I have a sister. I have a brother. I have a spouse. There is a person who, biduni ta'yin, without mentioning their names, they're doing this, that, and the third. How can we stop people? How can we discourage people from doing that? The least that can be said is inkar al-munkar bil-lisan. Nobody coming for you. This ain't the Gestapo. They say the haram police. People get on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and so on and so forth, speaking about Allah's religion without knowledge, spreading all sorts of destructive ideas. Afkarun haddama. Recently there was a person who was saying that it is inappropriate for a Muslim who accepts Islam from the West. 2, for a woman to wear an abaya and a hijab. And for a man to wear a thobe or a kufi. They said because that is cultural appropriation. Are you serious? This person has probably more than 100,000 followers. 100,000 followers. Why? Why would you follow some ahmaq? Some person who every post that they have is something about Islam, talking about our LGBTQ 1, 2, 3 plus pi squared brothers and sisters, right? Talking about gay rights and this, that, and the third. And he stay away from that. Stay away from that. Stay away from those balawi. It's a two-edged sword. But for every good that is found on it, you can find hundreds or thousands of evils on these social media platforms. Ala kullin, he says that if your enemy was to come to you with something crystal clear, you would never fall for that trick. But the shaitan can come to you about something that you know is dead wrong and get you to fall into that. And today people think that they're sinning behind closed doors and no one sees, and the whole world can see. And the whole world can see. وَهَذَا مِنَ الْمُجَاهَرَةِ بِالْمَعَاصِي. And this is from exposing one's sins and doing one's sins shamelessly and publicly. فَيَحْمِلُهُ عَلَيْهَا حَتَّى يَفْعَلَهَا. The shaitan can come to you with something that is clearly from the maharim of Allah, and he will compel you until you do it. وَيُزَيِّنُهَا فِي عَيْنِهِ حَتَّى يَفْرَحَ بِهَا. And he will beautify it in the eyes of that person until they find joy and pleasure and happiness in these acts of disobedience. وَيَزْعُمُ أَنَّ فِيهَا مَصْلَحَةً وَيَذُمُ مَنْ خَالَفَهُ. And he will even claim that there is some good and benefit that is to be found in what they are doing. They will claim that there is some good and benefit that is to be found in what they are doing. وَيَذُمُ مَنْ خَالَفَهُ. And they will criticize and speak ill of whoever opposes them in their sin and disobedience.